The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The first ever rookie mini camp practice of the Aaron Glenn era is in the books. Robby Sabo was there. He's going to join us to recap the biggest takeaways from day one of rookie mini camp. It's the Jake Asman Show on a football Friday. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
I got just the guy to get us going tonight.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, here on a football Friday. Apologies for the mic issue in the cold open there, but I believe we have figured it out. And let's say hello right now to the Robby Sabo of JetsXFactor.com. He was at rookie minicamp earlier today. Robby, you witnessed the first ever practice of the Aaron Glenn era. Let's start there. What was that like? Was it weird seeing Aaron Glenn and not Robert Saleh after all these years?
Hey, you know what? You thought it may be weird if you thought about it for a second, but I was running around like a madman trying to get there and, get a couple things done beforehand. So I didn't think about it. And as soon as first of all, terrible weather. It's not warm. It's raining. And under normal circumstances, Saleh, most coaches automatically think, okay, it's going to be inside. It's going to be in the field house. With Glenn, I wasn't so sure. It's a rookie minicamp. Who knows? Maybe he throws it outside. It was inside, it turns out.
Glenn's supposed to be a macho guy, tough guy. I'm already concerned he's gotten soft by doing this practice indoors.
Not saying that, but like that was the initial thought, and it was the right call because the weather's going to be fine tomorrow, so they should be outdoors tomorrow. I guess this is just my coach brain, but yeah, I wanted to look at Membu. I wanted to look at Mason Taylor. The first thought, though, what hit me right in the face, because we walked in, and the first line of stretches were done. They were already in teams. First thing that smacked me in the face was the tempo and the pace and the frantic energy that the coaching staff and the players were giving off. Like, it's not uncommon to see that at practice, but you could see there was a clear intent behind it. So, we'll get into it with what the player said afterwards, at the availability. Everything goes under the same narrative that there is clear intent, there's communication, and there are legit expectations being communicated.
You bring up the tempo and you bring up, just something like that stands out right away. I mean, did the 11 on 11s going first in practice today, did that surprise you? Like what specifically did you notice that was different compared to how the Jets have handled this in the past?
That's interesting. In terms of, I'm trying to think back to Saleh's rookie camps.
He wouldn't have draft picks participate in those.
That's one thing. That's a good call out. But yeah, I don't remember teams, starting the session. And that, now again, we walked in around 10:15. They were in the middle of it. So I don't know what they did beforehand. I don't think much. I think it was just stretching, because afterwards they broke off into positionals, or individuals, as some people call them. So it was teams, then positionals. And then I think another team session after that, after we were gone. But, forget no huddle, forget 2-minute drill. It was just the pace. No meandering. Get to the huddle, get the play, run up to the line of scrimmage and get going. And the defense, all these young kids, they don't know each other and they're communicating left and right. It was something to definitely take note of.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. If you have any questions for Robby about a specific aspect of rookie minicamp, write it in. Super chats, they will cut the line. We got a big audience joining us, so I want to share that earlier today we gave away our 5 raffle prizes in raffle number 25. I've been in touch with each of the winners besides Meadowman. So Meadowman, you won the signed Aaron Glenn photo. Reach out to me if you're out there so I could send you your AG signed photo. And let me share the top prizes for raffle 26. We take no days off on this show. Our first ever non-jet prize in a raffle in honor of the Knicks and the playoff run. A signed Jalen Brunson jersey is our top prize in the next Asmaniac raffle next week. Prize 2, Aaron Glenn. A throwback Aaron Glenn 1996 New York Jets jersey. And our third prize is a signed Curtis Martin jersey. So
I missed the Brunson jersey. Is it the classic blue or is it one of the new ones?
it is the white
Okay.
home white.
That works. The classic blue or white. First of all, the classic blue, they should never wear anything other than the classic blue on the road. Like the double vision New York, I don't understand. I can't believe they came back with that again this year. I don't understand that. And then the way they do the court, I don't get. It's 2 shades of blue for each lane. But Jake, are you going tomorrow?
I will be there. And the court, by the way,
did you sell your soul to go tomorrow? You are going?
I am going. I am going. I couldn't miss it.
Okay. I wish I was going. I'm a little jealous. I can't deny it.
I will be in the building, and the Knicks better be wearing home whites.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The way
they should
roll,
always wear white at home. That's my take.
I agree too. And dude, some of the alternates I don't mind, like the darker blue Knicks uniform alternate. I kind of like those, like the blue and orange, darker blue. But man, the double vision ones, anything with black, nah, that's for the birds.
So anyway, Jalen Brunson signed jersey, the top prize. Aaron Glenn 96 jersey, prize 2. Curtis Martin, prize 3. Let me shout out Anthony, who gifted these before the show even started. Anthony's the first person today to gift memberships. Thank you very much, Anthony. He's in for 5. David Atkins gifted a membership. He's in for 1. Appreciate you, David. So that's 6 raffle entries so far. I got some questions I want to get into on some of the takeaways here. Some of the things you saw from the drafted players in particular. So let's start with Membu, because I was seeing some tweets from a bunch of reporters that he looked as advertised. What did you think of Armand Membu getting a chance to watch the Jets? We hope future right tackle, bookend right tackle now with him and Olu as the 2 tackles going forward.
Listen, they're in helmets, so there's not much you could fully take home. But the thing with him is, what stands out is how fluid he is. He's so fluid, and he's such a tremendous athlete for his size. And, his size, 330, that perfect right tackle mauler. That's exactly what you want in this offense. And, I don't think a tackle could fit this offense, fit what they're, and when I say this offense, I mean what they're trying to do, what their intent is. It's not a secret. They're going to run the ball. I think they're going to lead the league in rush attempts, maybe not yards, but rush attempts, at least top 3. And he fits it perfectly. His pass pro stuff, we'll see how that comes. I'm not saying it's horrible, but, it's definitely not akin to what he's going to do on the ground, I think. But when he's out there, no pads, just helmets. Either way, today he was just fluid, and it's kind of similar to how I felt about Sauce the first time I saw him in person. Sauce, he's tall, he's lanky, 6'3" or whatever he is. No human's supposed to move that way, being that tall and long. Yet his feet are so quick. His bursts in short spaces, it's foreign. You got to do a double take. That's kind of how Membu is as a mauler on the right side of the line.
He just looks the part, and obviously looks aren't the end all be all. He does need to get a number when the time comes, though. Here were the rookie numbers, and these are not official, Mason Taylor, we'll get to him. Number 46 is grotesque. But Membu at number 70, like, what are we doing, man? Membu should not wear number 70. Hopefully this is just the rookie minicamp numbers, and he won't actually choose that for his real one.
It's interesting. And yeah, I'm sure most of the fans watching this right now already heard it. Mason Taylor afterwards said, damn, who was it? Or Antoine. I think Antoine asked the question, why 46? And a lot of fans, like you, Jake, don't like 46. How do you feel about 40s for tight end anyway?
Gross. It's a fullback
see,
number.
I'm okay with some, like 44 is okay, 48 maybe if there's no fullback on the roster, but I agree. There's only those two I think I like, but 46 is rough. And Taylor's response was, no reason. They just gave it to me. And I'm here to play football. That was his actual quote. I didn't choose it. They gave it to me. I'm here to play football. That's pretty much what I'm concerned about right now. So anyone who's worried about the numbers right now, I wouldn't, because I have a feeling a bunch of them are going to change this offseason.
Yeah, I don't think Mason Taylor will ultimately be 46. And I'm just not going to care about it right now. But people do care because people want to buy the jerseys for these rookies. So that's why people care. That's
100% true. And a lot of things with Glenn that I'm watching for, what kind of things does he do differently as opposed to Saleh, with the social media be ramped down? I haven't checked the Jets social media page. Was it overly active today? I'm sure they have some stuff, but was it crazy active? It's different for rookie minicamp. They're not going to interview the guys coming out on the field like they do with the regular team. But the two quarterbacks, Brady Cook, Adrian Martinez, had GoPros on their helmet. That was an interesting thing. But other than that, I mean, akin to the numbers, like, throwing the young guys numbers and here it is. You have no say in the matter. I think that's the extended story on top of Mason Taylor. Like, Glenn, not necessarily laying down the law, but just this is the way it is. And hey, you're not a Jet yet. This is part one in a long process that not everyone's going to make until the end.
Some super chats on numbers. Then we will get to a monster membership explosion from Mimosa, the first 20 spot of our upcoming raffle. Big fella says 46 is not a bad number, twice as good as 23. It just doesn't feel like a good tight end number.
46 is rough. What was Dallas Clark? 44?
Yeah.
I agree. 80s feels a lot better for tight ends. Like receiver, the transition from receiver to the teens felt much nicer than tight end from 80s to 40s.
Xavier Gibson, by the way, is now rocking number 3 because 82 is issued, at least for now, it's being issued to Arian Smith.
Honestly, Gibson, whether or not it makes a team is not important here. He should not be 80s. He should be single digits the way he plays. Return man, jet motion. So that makes sense.
Let's see. Bo with a super chat related to the numbers discussion. Do you think there's something to putting Mason Taylor in a fullback number? I'm counting on a crazy offense this year.
No, not necessarily fullback. Could there be something with it in terms of, hey, Mason Taylor's brain, think about more than just catching the ball? Maybe. That's stretching it. But I wouldn't put it past Glenn. We know who his guy is. It's Parcells. And what's Parcells? He's a psychoanalyst. Like, motivation is about that brain, that wonderful human brain. And there's no doubt Glenn is playing some games. So, it's a stretch, but that's a good call out.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Dylan.
Let me put it this way. Sorry, Jake. Remember when Jermaine Johnson came in and he was 56? And then right after his first year, he changed to 11. And in order
52.
He was 52? Okay, I'm sorry. In order to change to 11, they had to change his official position to linebacker. Even though they're not a 3-4 team, they're 4-3. They had to change his official position to linebacker and to get him that 11. And after 1 year, Saleh did it for him. I put out a tweet or wrote an article. I forgot what it was. And Jets fans were livid at me. Like, who cares? It's just a number. This is some of that psychoanalytical stuff that I think the Parcells and Glens of the world care about more. The hidden details that the masses don't see. I'm not saying there was intent here with Glenn, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Sabo the GOAT. what do you make of the rookie DBs, Thomas and Moore, and their 2025 roles? What did you see from the two DBs out there at rookie minicamp? By the way, Thomas and Moore, I think both have their contracts already figured out. The 5 of the 7 draft picks already agreed to deals.
Yeah, another thing, getting business done like quickly and early. What did I see from both of them out there and teams? Not much, honestly. My eyes were in the offensive backfield most of the time. A lot on Donovan Edwards. In positionals, I was watching AZ a little bit. He's, I think, don't get down by this, but I think there's some work to be done there in terms of short area quickness. But in terms of straight line bail and, press and trail, I think he's going to be NFL ready right from the jump. So the stuff where he'll struggle on is the stuff I think that we saw Cromartie struggle on, slants, quick in routes. And it's for a different reason. Cromartie had the straight line speed, but he didn't have the short area stuff. And I think AZ kind of falls in that category as well. So if there's one guy to learn from, it's Aaron Glenn, because Aaron Glenn stayed under, on the trail hip of that quick slant better than anyone in the league and undercut it.
It's going to be fascinating to see what role that ultimately they decide to use Thomas in, because I think he's good enough to push for a starting spot, but they paid Stevens. So Stevens going to safety. That's the big question I think this summer we're looking at.
Yeah, I think it's possible, but right now I'd say not, because, you got Malachi Moore. I think he's going to be right in the mix. You got Tony Adams, and don't get stale on Tony Adams. Tony Adams, what we know about him is he could cover one-on-one as a safety, not as a corner. I mean, he'd be a pretty bad one-on-one man coverage corner in the league, but as a safety, he's up there. Like he's pretty solid. And that trait alone, Aaron Glenn, I guarantee he's salivating over. So you got Cisco deep, and then you got Adams and Moore underneath, hybrid roles. There's not much room. So I think it's going to be AZ and Stevens battling for the 2 and 4 spots with Michael Carter at 3, obviously.
And then you wonder, could they maybe use Michael Carter differently to what we're accustomed to seeing? This is a guy that's been a safety before, and he is obviously a really good nickel corner, but there's versatility there. Could we see him in certain lineups, be kind of like a roaming player, a roamer, in that Brian Branch type of role?
Yeah, they could play nickel, and for all intents and purposes, it could be a big nickel, which is normally 3 safeties, 2 corners, but they have 3 corners out there because Michael Carter, could pretty much play both. So you got Cisco deep, you got Sauce and either Stevens or AZ on the outside, and then you got Michael Carter in one slot or one edge, lingering in the box in that Brian Branch role on one side, and on the other side you have either Adams or Malachi Moore. So there's set pieces there, and you could easily play Carter deep. You could go 3 deep, have him bail from that slot area. There's a lot of different things you could do.
Unbelievable what we have here. I got to grab my helmet because Mimosa gifted 20 channel membership.
It's the ASMANIAC membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Here we go. Helmet's coming on, Mr. Sabo.
Bobblehead Jake.
Strap in. But we're not done because I got 40 names to read. That's because after Mimosa gifted 20, Bo gifted another 20.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
It is officially raining channel memberships. I don't need an umbrella, though, because I got my fancy schmancy helmet on. Here we go. 40 names. Rapid fire. I'm reading them all right now. These are from Mimosa, if you hear your name call. Mark York, Luca Quinteri, John Serpico, Tuan Haina, Percy, Bash Copper, Mikey Mann, Tim Odenthal, John Pertucci, Turd Ferguson, Jug Artist 14, B. Smith, Little Joey, Fear Me, Jets and Barbells, Tomax Treehouse, Florida Jet Fan, JJ, Stephen Kinslow, Alex Swain, Deli Dane, Matthew Savage. Wow. Okay. That was from, if I had that right, That was from Mimosa. Now, here are the ones from Bo. Incredible. These are all towards our raffle, which features the Jalen Brunson jersey as the top prize, the Aaron Glenn jersey that's autographed, of course, and the third prize is Curtis Martin signed jersey. Michael Beckerman, S.O. Lamy, Nikkei, FPP, Soldiers of God, Leaves, Donnie Budden, Douglas Welsh, Jetted Out, Hollywood Drools, JC, The King Does, Maurice Morales, JC, The Doodle Chicken, Jeremy Ovale, Patrick DiStefano. Boom. That, I think, is 40. That was not easy. Thank you to Bo and Mimosa for supporting the show. All right. On that note, let's get back to your questions, your super chats as we continue to react to day one of New York Jets rookie minicamp in the Aaron Glenn era. Big fella super chat says 46, not a bad number, twice as good as 23. He says not only is 46 twice as good as 23, it's a factor of 69. How can you hate that number? Mason Taylor got lucky with that number. This just doesn't look right. That's why I hate the number. I'm sorry. I don't like this.
I don't disagree. It's now I'm not anti-40s. As I said, I think 44 is okay. 48 if there's no fullback. I like 38 as a fullback as well. 40 and 40 is okay. 41 maybe, but that's it. Like 46 is rough. I agree.
What else stood out today, Robbie? Anything from the quarterbacks? Were you impressed by the UDFA Brady Cook watching him out there? Him and Adrian Martinez competing for the third quarterback job.
Yeah, the first noteworthy play was and when I say noteworthy, flashy, I guess, it was Brady Cook kind of flushing to the left. I can't remember if it was off schedule in some way, but I can't remember if it was a true play action or not. Flushing to the left, scampering to the left, and Taylor, he must have been running a flash, a split zone action underneath from the backside, and he just off schedule, nice feet. I think evaded a guy and then flipped it to Mason Taylor in the flat. You know, it was like a 7-8 yard pass flip and huge rack afterwards. I like huge racks. It was like 15, 20 yards. So that was a nice one. Brady, and then not a few plays later, like 10, 15 plays later, it was a vertical concept with a bunch of options, 3 or 4 options against the perfect zone defense. Great read, perfect call. Mason Taylor wide open down the seam, and he overshot him by like 8 to 10 yards. So, you know, there was some things that he did well. He's mobile, he can move. And there's some things that, that are issues, the accuracy. And that's going to be interesting to see. But I think the main thing with Cook, I think Martinez outplayed him today in terms of, pure quarterbacking. But the main thing with Cook is the intent, again, with the offense. Like he could fit with what a Fields offense is with those legs. And I think that's the main takeaway still for me.
Gifted membership from Sir Luca in our raffle for one. Matthew figured out how to get the membership. He's in the raffle for one. Appreciate you guys' support. Let's see. Questions for Robbie, write them in. If it's a super chat, it will cut the line and go first. I'm reading your recap story on JetX. I'm just trying to skim through it and see if there's anything in particular that you haven't hit on yet. But, I'm noticing that you made reference to Armand Membu telling the media that he likes the culture that Glenn is building. It seems like that was a theme when these guys were asked about Glenn, that they all talked about him being both a player's coach, but someone that they believe is a great leader. I mean, what are they supposed to say? But I did think that was a theme listening to the pressers earlier.
Yeah, Membu, Arian Smith, and Mason Taylor, all 3 of them, pretty much the same thing. Membu, he got up there. He's a big dude, but he wasn't menacing at all. Like, you could tell he's got a personality to him.
He's short. He's very quick. Like his answers. Like
yes, he's quick, but he's quick, but you could tell he's got a personality behind him that's just aching to come out. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying he's shy, but I think and it makes sense. It's just, he just got here. But I think he's got a big personality that we're going to see in time. But yeah, Membu referenced Glenn. He likes the culture. I'm trying to find the quote. Mason Taylor, he was all business. He doesn't care about the number. A lot of guys care. I mean, even immediately, and they make it about that. They make it about what they want. Their selfish, their selfish desires. Arian Smith, great quote here about Glenn. I forgot who asked the question. He's going to tell you straight up what he wants from you. Arian Smith said of Aaron Glenn, and he basically said, that's what I want. I want to be coached hard. And shout out Nick Faria during the practice. Faria goes, Arian Smith, he reminds me of Deshaun Jackson. Like, that's what he could be coming out of Cal. And I tried to remember, did Deshaun have drop issues in college? And Faria was telling me he did. I don't remember them, but he dropped. He wasn't a first rounder. I think he was a second rounder. And Faria asked him the question, is there anyone you model your game after? And Arian Smith said no. But then later in that same availability, he thought of Deshaun Jackson. So spot on by Faria. That was a good comp. And the way his body type is, it's pretty comparable. Now, whether or not he'll develop the under route tree and have those hands remains to be seen.
Purple Belt Mike, $20 super chat in the raffle for 5. Sabo, please tell me Arian Smith didn't look like a bum. Let's go Knicks. F them picks.
No, he didn't look like a bum at all. Listen, the
only one drop apparently, right?
I can't even pinpoint it, to be honest. I don't even remember seeing it.
It was like in positionals. I saw someone say on Twitter.
Who was it? Do you remember who it was?
Who tweeted it?
Yeah. I
think it might have been Faria, actually.
Okay. Yeah, didn't see that. But look, listen, it's
Faria.
not.
I always say Faria. It's Nick Faria.
Is it Faria, not Faria?
Yeah, I think it's Faria.
Damn Italian. People think I'm Italian because my name, but apparently it's not. So
you're an Irishman.
I'm an Irishman and Eastern European mutt, apparently. But yeah, dude, it's not out. Listen, I'm not with the Al Davis thing. Old school, speed kills, draft speed all the time. It's not Madden. Like I saw one of your commenters say a couple weeks ago when the outrage was high over Arian Smith. But at the same time, dude, they had nothing in terms of speed at receiver. And you need to take the top off, especially for this offense with Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor, and Breece Hall. So, you can't, there's no teaching speed either. Like there's no coaching it. So he could come in on third downs, in vertical passing sets and longer developing sets and really, really make an impact right away.
Bo with a super chat cuts the line. The player makes the number, not the other way around. So if that's the number you got, put your effing name all over it and play Jets football. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd still bet he's going to change numbers, but it's not, it's not totally out of the realm of possibilities that he sticks with it.
Now, when you were there today, and obviously, you saw Glenn walking around, did you see any mysterious figure next to him?
It's a disturbing thing, man. The Beastbreaker, dude. Why police officer Beastbreaker? Do you think you're the big boss man now? Is my question. Is that the new character that he's going for? Because I don't know what to say about that. Like you are Bam Bam Bigelow or George the Animal Steel all the way, or King Kong Bundy, one of the three.
I can't imagine how Glenn felt when that showed up on the practice field.
I mean, accountability aside, I wouldn't blame him for running. Like, forget accountability, just run.
What else stood out today, Robbie? Empty the notebook. We got day 2 tomorrow. That's open for the media to attend. Glenn will talk afterwards, so we'll have some quotes from Glenn that will be interesting. But what else are we missing? Could be something that happened on the practice field. Could also be anything that you observed in the media availabilities after.
Man, I think we've hit most of it. It's a little thing too. I saw some old school stretching today. Like over the last 20 years, even when I was playing in the early 2000s, the football programs got away from old school stretching where you're stationary. and you do the stationary thing, and you started to get the movement going, and you do movement stretches. I forget what they're called, what the technical name is. Someone could help us out. But today, after that team session, when we walked in, I saw some old school stretching going in. Like the first one they did was stationary, the old neck roll. I remember Boomer Esiason doing that at 94 as the before the game at the Meadowlands, and coaches have gotten away from that. But I think Glenn or whoever was running the conditioning and strength and all that stuff feels like they're trying to combine both, which I'm not totally against, and that's something that caught my eye.
Like the video, share the video, and make sure you guys continue to subscribe to this channel. Check out Robbie's work and his team's work at jetsxfactor.com. Robbie normally joins us Tuesdays, but he's coming on a Friday, a football Friday, after we had actual football that was played. Emmanuel wants to know, what did you think about Quincy and Quinnen's little brother, who was out there as one of the training, or he wasn't even a training camp. He was a mini camp invite. So he doesn't have a contract.
Yeah, I heard about it. I didn't even spot him today. I wasn't even thinking about him, to be honest. But it's interesting. I would say it's a long shot that he latches on. But hey, giving him the shot, there's nothing wrong with that. The other call out, too, is Donovan Edwards. He must have had 35 carries today. He was Emmitt Smith circa Norv Turner's offense in the early 90s.
How'd he look?
He looks solid. I mean, there's not a crazy burst there. The one cut leaves a little to be desired, but the vision is okay. And again, it's not full pad, so it's unfair to evaluate totally. It's just strange to only have two running backs there. I forgot what the other kid's name is, Tufale or something or the other. He really got a lot of work, and it was interesting. And as a contrast to some of the front seven defensive guys, he didn't look out of gas at all. So he got a lot of carries, a lot of totes, and he wasn't huffing and puffing whatsoever.
It'll be interesting to see, what his role is. I know there was some talk about, could he be moved to receiver as an option?
Donovan Edwards?
Yeah.
I doubt it. To be honest, I doubt it. I mean, it's interesting. I haven't thought about him much because they're so secure at running back. They have Braylon Edwards, Breece Hall, Isaiah Davis. And then Justin Fields. I mean, how many carries is he going to take? So they have so many backs that I haven't really given him a second thought. But if he does some good things this summer, I guarantee you the Jets won't want to lose him. There could be something there, so it should be something to monitor.
Some of the other UDFAs that are intriguing: Jordan Clark, the son of Ryan Clark, the ESPN analyst, who's been a Jet hater, or really a Rodgers hater in the past. Now he has to be a Jet fan, which is kind of funny. Joy Taylor has to root for the Jets, even though she would always just rip them whenever she could. So suck that one, Joy. Yeah. Any of these other UDFAs stand out to you?
Brady Cook was the big one. In terms of today, no, because there's not much to see. I mean, the things that I was really paying attention to with the draft picks: Arian Smith's speed, the DBs, AZ's short space, quickness, Donovan Edwards, because you can't get away from him. He was carrying the ball at every freaking play, pretty much. Membu. So UDFAs, no. I'll sit on that for a little bit.
How was the Aussie kicker? Is that Caden Davis?
Didn't see one kick. Did anyone tweet anything about it? I don't even remember seeing it, to be honest.
Did they do any kicks indoors today?
I didn't see it. Maybe they did it after we were gone, or maybe they did it when my head was in the phone, doing the stupid social media thing. But I didn't see it.
Let's see. Jersey Jet. Robbie, did you notice wide receiver Demir Miller?
Not much, to be honest. And I don't want to talk about, strategy and route concepts. It's only rookie camp, so they're not really showing anything. But it was clear that even though they weren't in full pads, there's a focus on the rushing attack. There's a focus on the run game. I'm not saying they didn't pass at all. They did, but it was very difficult to pinpoint specific players at times because you're looking at the sheet and trying to find the numbers. Sound now, I'm sorry, but keep throwing names at me. Maybe something will come to me.
Tyler Barron, big fella, super chatted it in.
Nah, I mean honestly, he was in the mix. I saw him a couple times. He was in the mix in terms of guys who were kind of feeling it. But listen, that's what Glenn preaches. It's sort of similar to Salah, in which, the front seven's going to get tired. I don't think he's going to rotate as much as Salah, but you got to go all out. But in terms of any individual plays that Barron made, nah, nothing.
What else do we have here? Appreciate everyone's interest. Great super chat so far.
Yeah,
Mickey,
keep throwing stuff at me too, because maybe it'll trigger something. Who knows?
Does Robbie think we'll get any wide receiver or DT help in free agency?
Wide receiver or DT? It's a good question, man. What's the fans feeling right now? What would they, if they had to pick one position, what would it be and who would it be? I mean, we know the receiver names, Keenan Allen and so forth, but who would it be? I think my answer would be DT because I don't feel very secure there. I think Glenn likes Nandi and Leonard Taylor a lot more than the general consensus, but I think help will come in some form. I just don't think it's going to be a huge splash.
I personally would like them to sign one of each. I don't think they're going to sign either. I want Keenan Allen. I want a legit receiver on this team next to Garrett Wilson.
It will be. So if you grab Allen, who's outside of the top two? You got Lazard, Reynolds.
I'm trading Lazard to Pittsburgh. We'll see you later.
Okay. I could live with that. I mean, and Keenan's a willing blocker, but as it stands right now, you got Lazard and Reynolds who are blockers, and make no mistake, receiver 2 is going to be a blocker. That's like in a perfect world, you'd want him to do everything, but the receiver 2 is not going to be a guy who can't block. That's just, I know the way they're thinking about this offense. Garrett Wilson, for how talented he is, he's not a great blocker. So receiver 2, they want a blocker, and it's Reynolds. That's and I'm getting distracted. Reynolds, Lazard. So and then you got Arian Smith and Tyler Johnson behind with Xavier Gibson. So if Keenan comes, it is a bit bloated, but yeah, you could see Lazard going for sure.
Did either quarterback get punched out in practice?
Nah, no quarterback got punched out. When did that happen? Was that training camp or OTAs?
The Geno incident happened. Yeah. It happened in training camp.
Had to have been, right? Bulls' first.
It was in August of training camp.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. Like that was nuts. And then, hey, maybe they need it. I mean, that was the last double-digit win season.
Yeah, we need someone to punch someone out. Maybe it doesn't have to be a quarterback, but the last time the Jets had a winning year, they needed someone on the team to punch another member on the team.
Yeah, wake up the locker room or something. They had such a cupcake schedule that year. It was such a rare walk in the park, for lack of a better word.
Well, they also just got red hot at the right time too. Like Fitz had the career year; he was never going to replicate that again. Like it just they blew it. They blew it.
They figured out on offense what they do best, what Fitz does best, and how it works with those receivers. A lot of one-on-ones, throw it up and let them do their thing, especially Marshall, obviously. Decker is a little different. And the league couldn't stop it. And they just kept doing it and kept doing it. So, yeah, you're right. That's the main point. They got hot at the right time.
Let's see. Emmanuel says, Jake and Sabo, the GOATs, please give us a shout out to our military unit here in Poland watching your show live. Hashtag Jet Marines for life. Wow, Emmanuel. I didn't know, one, that you were in the military, and two, I didn't know that you're in Poland. Thank you for your service. I'm waving my flag for you and all the troops. What time is it in Poland? That's right.
2 a.m. I got some Polish heritage, so.
Me too.
I'm your Polak brother. You do too, huh? How about that?
Do. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big pierogi fan, got to be honest.
Emmanuel, thank you for your service, man. That's awesome. Shout out to all our armed force members. Let's see. Let Mason Taylor remember punch Lazard and Kuntz.
Why Kuntz? Why are you throwing Kuntz in the mix?
Yeah, Kuntz. I mean, he's kind of like an afterthought. I mean,
or Michael Clemens. How about Michael Clemens? I know Jets fans love him.
Let's see. WD wants to know, were you sleeping during this practice?
No. Just there was just during halftime.
I know who was, though.
Who? That's not live, is it?
It was live before the show.
Oh, okay, before the show. Got it. You know, I'm surprised. So, what's the AC setup he's got going here? It's next to the window and in the wall.
Looks like it.
What?
Live from the attic, baby.
Is Beastbreaker listening right now?
Of course he is.
Come on, Beastbreaker, get on, hop on. Oh, there he is.
I'm already on. I got my sandwich right here, right in front of me, there, Chief. How did I seen that training camp? That was very fascinating, very fascinating. Kind of like art. Take an example of Vincent Van Gogh, Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, Donatello. There you go. There's your artist right there. And don't forget the great Mona Lisa. You remember studying about the Mona Lisa?
What are you saying right now?
It's like take art as example. It's like a painting. You got to look at it very clearly
Robbie.
when you look at art. You think of it as a beauty. I'm not an artist. I never liked art. Art was okay for me. I'm not an artist. I don't. Sure, I draw things, but I think of it as a light of art. You gotta.
This is what I just heard from you. Hey, up on the roof and in the gabagool and the sandwich and the dog, go outside. That's what I heard. I don't know what the hell you're saying right now, Beast.
What I'm saying is, if you learn to look at art, you got to think of it as a different retrospect, not from other atrospect. You got to look at it as like, okay, take an example of Vincent Van Gogh, Leonardo da Vinci, and many of the other artists that have painted all these great paintings. And look at Mona Lisa. That's over so many years old. It's one of the best things in the world. I mean, you got to take it from a different atrospect. You got to look at the bright side. You can't think of the negatives. You got to think of the positives. The positives are your best number one answer. You can't just go with the negatives all the time. For example,
Beast, hold on. You keep claiming that you're on this carnivore diet, but Mickey makes a good point here.
I'm doing
you're talking
good.
about, but you're eating a sandwich right now.
Water in here today.
But that's not a carnivore diet if you're eating a sandwich.
Hey,
dude,
hey.
Forget eating a sandwich. You're hallucinating. Forget the sandwich.
No, I'm not hallucinating. Come on now, stop it now, shall we? Come on, you can do better than that. It's Friday. You know what Friday is? It's a great time to enjoy good times. We got summer coming up. We got all these great venues coming up. We got to think about the positives in life because
Robbie, your thoughts on that phone call there?
Those old commercials. I think they came on. They got popular when I was in college, which is kind of ironic. But the old commercials that were anti-drug, and the kids in the car were coming out of the drive-through, and they you didn't see it on camera, but they were high and they hit a kid who was riding his bike.
Yeah.
Just take that clip of Beastbreaker, put it on TV, and we're good, man. Human civilization is saved. We're golden.
Boomtown writes in, Robbie, you need to look past the words that Beast uses and envision what he's saying. Bo, what are you saying right now? Classic. I love that same old guy. That should be on a t-shirt. A picture of you being, what are you saying right now?
I see. Look past his words and envision what he's. If you do that, I just see the crazy guy who sells graffiti t-shirts down by the beach. That's it. Like, there's nothing else to see but that.
You got to learn from Art.
Art who?
Art.
Oh, Art.
You get the fuck out.
Maybe he could write it. If he writes it, maybe it'll hit home.
Comments, questions, super chats for Robbie. Open phone lines if you want to call in as well. Anything minicamp related or anything Jet related that you want Robbie's thoughts on, ask it now. I did want to get your take on the ESPN power rankings slotting the Jets at 30th in the league. They dropped somehow 3 spots after the draft. Are the Jets the third worst team in football?
No, that's, and this is I don't want to call it a bias, but this is the New York thing. It's, you got to know, you got to have the awareness of what sports media is, and sports media it targets emotions. And in New York, coupled with a starving fan base, if the momentum is swinging high and it's increasing, they're going to be overrated like the last 2 years. If it's the other pendulum, they're going to be underrated, and that's just the way it is. You want to elicit the greatest emotion of the moment, and for the last 2 years it was hope, and right now it's the other way. It's anger and despair. At least that's the intent, despite Glenn and the new regime. So, they're not the third worst. You just got to look at the depth chart and be objective, and there's plenty of talent, and we've seen it time and again what coaching does. In this sport, coaching means more in this sport than any other sport ever. So, you can't. Third worst is outrageous.
Reminder to those of you just tuning in, we did our raffle this morning. Congrats to the 5 winners. We're on to raffle 26, which features our first ever non-Jet top prize. In honor of the Knicks playoff run, a signed Jalen Brunson jersey will be raffled away next week on the show. Also, prize 2, throwback 1996 Aaron Glenn signed jersey. Prize 3, the Hall of Famer Curtis Martin signed Jets jersey. Those are the top 3 prizes in next week's upcoming ASMANIAC raffle. JR Jet with a super chat here. He's in for 2. Always great to catch the show live, but I'm just getting out of work and Beast has me lost in the retrospect, so I'm rewinding back to the beginning to catch up. Hashtag Jet up.
Yo, YouTube didn't hit you yet for those topless Beast photos? You're good still? Like you're still rated G?
Yeah, I was concerned about my channel like being suspended for showing breasts, but apparently man boobs are fine.
My dying days. But he is Beast, you're hallucinating right now. I don't know what is going on.
Jets Worldwide wants to know, Robbie, you ever do stationary stretches?
Yeah, I have, but we're not going to talk about
it. Chris says, Beast, you look great. You could paint art, my friend. Is Chris B the nicest guy in the chat of all time?
Chris B, is it?
Yep.
Interesting name for a nice guy.
He's a great guy. Let's see. Sluggo says if Beast won the lottery, he'd blow it all in a week on toys.
Yeah, that's a 1980s movie comedy if I ever saw one.
Connor Long says, hey, everyone.
I don't know what to say to
that. Let's see. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. Talking about rookie minicamp with Robbie. Good question here from Rico. Will less of a rotation be good for players like Quinnen and McDonald, or will there be an adjustment period getting used to the extra snaps?
I think the major point is I don't think it's going to be a drastically lesser of a rotation. I think it'll be a smidge less, not as crazy as Salah's, but I think the biggest thing is, it'll benefit Quinnen and certain guys because I think the rotation will be more strategic. With Salah, it was stagnant. It was static. 2 on, 1 off, 2 on. They had it set, and it didn't always stay the same, but it was each game plan, each game, it was set. And very rarely did they get away from it. I think under Salah, it's going to be more dynamic in terms of certain personnel situations. So yes, to answer your question.
Not bad. Not too shabby.
Yeah, like if it's goal line, I mean, I don't want to see certain guys in there, period.
I just hope they're willing to adjust. Like Salah's scheme was just so like, this is how we do it. This is the only way we're going to do it. Like if a guy's dominating, I don't care how many snaps he's played. Let him stay out there and continue to dominate, you know?
They're going to adjust. And it starts up front in terms of the ways they teach taking on the block and block shedding, read and react as opposed to one gap aggressive. So just by nature, teaching it that way and teaching different ways, they're gonna be more flexible. There's just no way around it.
How about this 1-2 comments? The name Salah gets said. Peter Castro, who won the full-size Joe Namath helmet earlier. Congrats again, Peter. Salah equals abortion. Dave Brigga, the name Salah sickens me.
I have the same initials as Robert Saleh. How do you feel about me, Dave Brugge?
That's a good point. RS.
Yeah.
Gator says, how does Robbie explain the Jake Asman show to family and friends?
Yeah,
how would you describe the show?
The first question would be, have you ever taken acid? Second question would be, if not, then, go on YouTube and imagine sports, but go on YouTube and then type in old school Howard Stern channel and check that out and watch for the whack pack and kind of envision that environment in a sports New York Jets environment. And boom, there you go.
That's pretty well done.
Yeah. But the first question is very important.
Microfox says all Robbie has to do is show that picture of Beast.
To do what? To
explain the show.
Oh, okay. That sort of explanation leads to double-digit more questions on the other end. I gotta say.
Hey, anything could happen. Let me pause this. How you guys doing tonight? We're actually partying it up here. It's Friday, and you know what time it is? It is game time. And tonight we're gonna.
Hey, Beast, is that mic plugged into anything?
Say that again, please.
I don't think that mic is plugged into anything.
It's made of candy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There, it's purple and blue.
Is that a real mic, or did you get out of? Is that a real mic, or did you get out of a claw machine?
I had it sent to me by via you know who. You already should know this. Come on. Hey, come on. Let's not start breaking balls here, okay? Let's keep it simple and short and sweet. Let's keep it nice here. We're not here to kick anyone in the you know where. Now let's not break anybody's balls here. Let's play smart, play positive, and let me say one thing. Tomorrow when we go to Madison Square Garden, we're gonna kick the piss out of the Celtics, and we're gonna go KNICK. That's how you get hungry. See you.
Somehow we got to the Knicks in that call.
I didn't know you were the Knicks fan. Is that right?
Oh, he's a big Knicks fan.
Interesting.
It is. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Dana says, I kind of like the 46 for Taylor. Look, if he balls out, he'll make it his own. I just aesthetically don't love the number 46.
Have there been any great tight ends who have worn 46?
I'm thinking.
You know what? I'm going to have to look that one up. I mean, it's much more of a fullback, H-back type number for sure. Todd Christensen. Raiders.
Dallas Clark was 44.
Yeah,
we said that earlier, but that's not 46.
No, but yeah, I think 40. I like 44 a lot better. Christensen, wow, I would never have, and I've seen it for like watching the old NFL films. Never would have thought came to mind.
So you can't see this, Robbie, or the audience, but Beast is just screaming at someone on the phone right now. Should I throw him back up?
Yeah, come on now. Come on, of course.
We'll listen in.
You fuck with us, you know what comes next. your ass gets whipped. And if you get out of line, do you remember what Christopher did in one of the Sopranos episodes? It's called, hey, do you know the one episode where Christopher cut the guy's fingers off? He's like, give me a hand. Oh, what do we have here? Look at this. Boy, comedy. Boy, this is comedy mania at its best today. Boy, it seems like, oh, wow. The king keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter like blazing tomato hot sauce. You know what? How about we sponsor one of these? Some Mexican hot sauce, good old-fashioned Valentina. Yeah. But tomorrow, you know what? Let's not worry about that. But, the future for us now is now. 2025 will be the predicting year our New York Jets finally get their balls reevaluated and step up to the plate because the time is now. It's time for y'all to shut up, stand up, fight, bleed, fight, kick and scratch, forget the past, forget it. It's all over. We're done with the past. We're not going to have a country club. You can take that country club, shove it up your ass, and the media, get off our backs. And if you get on our backs, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get one of these. You're going to get lifted into the trash. That's where it goes, to the trash. We're not going to listen to the media. We're going to shut up. We're going to play. We're going to hit. We're going to knock teeth out. We're going to break backs. And just because I'm taking a nap, let me just say this. I was an old school Bulls fan back in the day, 1991 to 1998. That was the year the Bulls were the best team around. And I'll say this with no shame at all.
What does that have to do with taking a nap?
Say that again?
What is your fandom of the Bulls when they were a dynasty have to do with you taking a nap?
If you look at Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc, you also got to look at John Paxson, Steve Kerr, and Luke Longley. These guys were the team that you cannot knock down. The Bulls were the team that just kept on coming and coming and coming.
How are you a Knicks fan now? How are you a Knicks fan if you're a Bulls fan back then?
Back in the day, the Bulls were the hottest team in the 90s. See, when Gordon was the boss. He knew what the hell he was doing. Him, Scottie Pippen, and then when you add Rod the Bod, okay, sure, he was weird in his own way because, okay, sure, he married himself in a dress. Okay, that's a little weird to my.
Thank you, Beast. I don't think we were ever going to get there.
How's he a Knicks fan now after being a Bull? That's like breaking the 10 commandments. I mean, my fear right now as a Knicks fan is thinking back to when I was a kid, getting my heart broken in 1993, up 2-0, to the Bulls.
You can't be a Knicks Bulls fan. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, listen, you got to hate. Jordan's the greatest Knicks villain of all. You got to respect him, obviously, especially now.
After the fact, you can, but you could hate him in real time.
Yes, he's the greatest villain of all time. Beast is, I'm telling you, it's like when you watch the old Macho Man promos, cream of the crop, all that stuff. You see the great comments like this. I forgot what I don't want to. This is a family program. His whole life is a promo, Beastbreaker. I don't know, I'm reevaluating things in my life, in my head right now. Honestly.
Where do we go from there? There was a great comment that I wanted to read. It was Dan the Jet fan. He says, Robbie doing a show with Jake on Friday evening. Did you lose a bet or something?
Who, me?
Yeah, rare Friday appearance for you.
No, I do like the non-morning. I got to be honest. I'm not a late riser, but it takes me, like a good 5 hours.
Should we move you to Tuesday afternoons for this portion of the calendar?
Yeah, we could discuss. We could talk. Whatever the Asmaniacs want, I'm in. But
run up the poll. Do you want Robbie Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon?
We set it up so I'd come on after practice, basically.
Yep, and we knew that mini camp was today, and Robbie was going to be there. Let's see. Emmanuel says Beast fake breaker here in Poland. What is the how do the troops in Poland, Emmanuel, feel about Beastbreaker? Let us know. Peter Castro says you want to hang out with the Beast.
Poland probably views him as the the same way us Americans viewed the Iron Sheik back in the day.
Microfox wants to know when your next podcast with Wayne Corbett is.
I don't know. We got to. We didn't do one this week, so probably Monday. So we'll recap what happens tomorrow on Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday at the latest.
I kind of want to give away a Wayne Corbett jersey on the show.
Let's roll.
Should I do it now? As a surprise impromptu raffle?
Yeah, I'll send it over to him. Let's do it.
You don't even need to do that. What if I were to tell you that I might have purchased one?
Get me excited, Jake.
Yeah. I feel bad. We're giving the people a lot of beats today, but he's the only one on hold. But in honor of...
Hey, where's Bobby Midnight and Mikey? Where are these? I haven't talked to these fellas in a while. What's going on here?
I don't know. Well, Mikey's working. Bobby, he doesn't call as much as he once did. Fame changed him.
Oh, he made it big.
He made it big.
He forgot about the little folks. Ah, shucks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like the people want a signed jersey giveaway. So why not? Let's have some fun. Starting now, all memberships gifted from now until the end of the show are entered in an impromptu Wayne Corbett jersey giveaway. Signed jersey, certificate of authentication. Sound the alarms, gift away your chance to win a signed jersey by Robbie's co-host on the Underdog Podcast. How about that?
Not bad. I actually have one of those myself. I think it's the white version, though, but not signed. So, damn. That's pretty good.
If you already gifted the show, we will count it as well. Bo C, just like that, a 10 spot for the people. Boom. All right, Robbie, I'm going to get you out of here on this, and then I will stay on for some calls, and we'll get some memberships and give away a Corbett jersey here on a Football Friday. As we sit here right now,
Yep.
predict the Jets' record in 2025. Subject to change, but how we feeling about the state of this team post-draft? You saw some rookies today. It's a football kind of day. What is the record prediction on May 9th for the Jets?
9-8.
Really?
Yeah, 9-8. If you asked me this question a month ago, I'd probably say 7-10, 6-7, maybe stretching it to 8 wins. But I think 500 is where I'm leaning right now. So either 8 or 9 or 9-10, right around 500. A push later in the season, and I think they'll get better as the season goes along because it's everything Glenn, and I'm trying to remain cynical and skeptical, but everything he does, it just keeps impressing me. So I got to roll with that feeling. So I'll go around 500.
I think we'd be ecstatic with that.
Yeah.
Like I'd be way better than anyone could have imagined.
Listen, Fields is going to be a big thing, but it's not necessarily Fields he's betting on 100%. I mean, a lot of it's Fields, but it's the coaching. Like if the coaching staff is legit and he's putting his bets on the coaching and Tanner Engstrand and Hayden and everyone, listen, we've seen it. Philly just won the Super Bowl, and I'm not trying to crap on Hurts, but they're not a classic offense. There's a lot of one read concepts there. That's what's getting it done in the NFL. You don't have to chase the quarterback. People are learning, and Glenn is taking that note, writing it down, and trying the same thing with the Jets. And if the accountability thing happens, I think they're going to be fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Robby Sabo. Robbie, appreciate your flexibility this week. Good to get you on after some practice to actually get your thoughts on what took place.
I stretch. I'm flexible.
JetsXFactor.com. Are you going tomorrow? Will we have more observations tomorrow?
Yes, sir. Going tomorrow. So, check out Jets X Factor. I'll do another live article on the site.
Yeah, very cool to follow this today. First time Robbie's done live observations, live updates. So you'll see it right on the homepage. So Check out JetX for all your Jets content.
All right. Later, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robby Sabo. We got a ton of memberships here. I just decided let's do something fun for the audience. Let's give away another prize. We gave away 5 this morning. We have our big picture raffle, which if you gift away, you're entered again for a chance to win a signed Curtis jersey, signed Glenn jersey, and a signed Jalen Brunson jersey, first ever non-Jet item in one of these weekly raffles. But Robbie does the Underdog podcast with Wayne Corbett. So I said, let's get the Wayne Corbett jersey, shall we? So the photo you see on your screen here, this is Wayne Corbett when he was a rookie. This is the jersey that you have a chance to win on the show right here, right now. So gift away to be entered. If you already gifted before this, we'll count it. I will compile all the names. Bo gifted 10. How about this from Ralphie? Go Hofstra, Flying Dutchman. The pride of Hofstra, Wayne Corbett. So that is the next prize. Big fella gifted 1. David Atkins 1. Dominic 1. A 10 spot from Mimosa. Hold on. I know we need to play when Mimosa's gifting memberships for the folks.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
Thank you to Mimosa. Connor Long spending hard-earned allowance money to gift 2 channel memberships. So keep gifting, and we'll give this away. We'll spin the wheel at the end of the show. Let's say hello to Jets Jesus, who's up next on the Gusbuster line today. What's up, Jets Jesus?
What's up, Jake? I figured I would give a call. I'm driving around running errands, but I figured I'd call in, say what's up. Seemed like things were pretty mellow over there. Hopefully inject some additional energy besides rookie camp starting today.
We appreciate you calling in. I mean, the calls today have just been beast breakers, so way to break the trend.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get away from the lunacy. I actually have a degree from art school, and I have no idea what that dude was talking about. I mean, he did name legitimate artists from history, but I was trying to kind of piece together what he was saying. But as usual, it was wild up in the attic.
Look, the attic is a wild place to live. There's just no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, have you been to Chicago? He's in Chicago. Have you been to Chicago much?
I've actually never been to Chicago at all. It's one of the major cities that I've never been that's on the bucket list to visit.
Okay, Chicago's brutal hot in the summer. And
So
like being in an attic.
Oh, I can already see where this is going.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like a torture chamber up there. That's I mean, I know you guys were talking about the air conditioner and its weird placement, although I have seen that before in some places where it's just built into the wall next to the window. But yeah, man, that place has got to be horrible in the summer. Although it would be wild if all of a sudden Beast was like 50 pounds lighter after this summer. Beast is like in shape for the season, ready to go nuts.
Look, Beast is a unique fella. Beast, you there?
There he is.
Yeah, look, I just had a couple sneezes. And goddamn allergies, man. They're kicking my ass today. Well, I'm okay. I'll be all right. Yeah, we'll all get the allergies, but you know what? I don't worry about that. I don't worry about anything. Sir, my air conditioner is fine. I got that for what? How much? $100? Jake, you know what you call $100? You call that chump change. 5%. That's not good enough for you. You're a reasonable man. Sure. You paid $1,100 for the internet when you're in New Orleans. Okay, as you put, that's big money. That's big dollar money. Because you're the big dog with the big money, and I'm just a little guy who's doing his part like everybody else.
Well, now the NFL just ripped me off. That's why I had to pay that to broadcast the show.
Okay, that's fair. That's reasonable. Sure, everybody has their own attrospecs. That's why.
Absolutely. Continue, Jet Jesus.
I mean, we needed to get attrospecs in there one more time, so that was well worth it. I need to look that word up after this call because I'm clueless over here. All right, I'll bring it back to our team for a bit though. I was listening to the pressers with the rookies. They put out Membu, Taylor, and Smith, and I'm ready to be done with caring about where Smith was picked and all that. I'm ready to put that behind me and just ready to cheer for these guys. And I did really like what Smith had to say. I know you guys covered a little bit, but one of the things that I don't remember what the question was, but when he was responding with, it was related to what kind of player can you be, and I really liked his response of, I'm going to be the player. It was along the lines of, I'm going to be the player relative to the effort and the work that I put in. And I thought that was such a great answer. And I was like, oh man, this is what Aaron Glenn loves about this dude. Like, that's what it is. It's not, oh, I'm this guy and I got all this talent and all this stuff. It's, I'm going to be as good as the work that I put in. And I was like, oh man, that's such a good answer.
Yeah, I caught his press conference too. I actually have plans to play some of it. Maybe I'll do that right after your call, Jets Jesus. But the thing with Aaron Smith is he's very likable. You can see why they obviously like him. They like his character. It's very tough to do what he's trying to do, right? Like be an impact player as a D3 pick. So hopefully they know more than the consensus on how he is as a player.
Yeah, I just find it refreshing when you actually get to see the guys and know them a little bit versus us, being disappointed by different things and going, it could have been this and he could have been that, and it's like, okay, now you see the person and you're like, okay, this is the human being and this is the athlete that's trying to be like you said, trying to be an impactful player, and this is our first chance to see him, at least for me. I didn't follow him in Georgia. And so, yeah, no, I was like, okay, this is refreshing. I'm ready to get going with actually like getting to know some things about these, about the individuals themselves.
Hell yeah. Great call, Jets Jesus. Appreciate you.
Thanks always, Jake.
Jets Jesus, check it in. If you want in, call in. Chris says, I concur with Jets Jesus. I'm from Chicago. Summers are absolutely ridiculous with the humidity. Steven says, Wayne Corbett 80 jersey. Let's go. I want it. Hey, it worked for Peter Castro. Castro saying, I want it, and then immediately winning the name it full-size helmet was such a boss thing on the first show today, for those who caught it. Unreal. Speaking of the devil, Peter Castro says, Fields taking us to the playoffs. A $50 super chat. We're doing a raffle at the end of the show, giving away a signed Wayne Corbett jersey. And if you gift, you're in the Brunson, Glenn, and Martin signed jersey raffle next week. But I didn't want to do something fun on a Friday. We had some football. So we'll give away a Corbett jersey that I had planned to use in a future raffle. We'll just do it on this show. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in on a Friday hanging out with us. Peter, this is for you.
Oh, shit.
So great call by Jets Jesus. He brought up Arian Smith. This was Arian Smith, at least part of his press conference earlier. Give you guys a little feel for the new Jet wide receiver.
That's a real moment, like it's like a full circle moment where everything's coming all together. Just getting one step closer, living out your dream. So I just took it one step at a time and stayed where my feet are, and enjoyed every moment I had in and gave it all I had. So I enjoyed today.
Did you have a moment at all where it kind of hit you, where you had your helmet or you see your locker or something? Is there anything?
I'll probably say yesterday when I got here, I looked at my locker, see my name on the locker, and I was just like, dang, that's crazy. That's my last name, and I sent a picture of my mom and my family, and they were excited too. So I'll probably say yesterday when I got here.
What's been your interactions with some of the other Jets receivers since you got here?
Just brotherhood, like we're all like in rookie camp, we're all new, so we're just trying to build a little brotherhood and just take it each day at a time and help each other as much as we can. Like whether somebody don't know a play, I'm gonna try to help them out, give them a little nugget. I ask questions and just honestly just help each other.
Have you had any interaction with Garrett Wilson a little bit at all since you got here?
No, not yet. I haven't seen Garrett. It's just it's rookie camp right now, so I don't think the vets are here. They are, but they're just not at the practice or just coming in and out the building. So I haven't seen them yet, but I'm sure I will eventually.
What's your early impression on Aaron Glenn and what kind of leader he'll be, and particularly as a former player, how much that may help?
He reminds me a little bit of my old coach I had in college, but I feel like he's a genuine person. He's going to tell you straight up what he wants from you, and he's going to coach you hard, and that's what I want. I want to be coached hard. I want to be demanded, and I want them to pull out nothing but the best, and I want them to push me to be the best I can be, not just just one person on one trick pony. I want to do everything everything they want me to do. I want to be able to do it.
What about your thoughts about Sean Jefferson? Getting to know him.
Say it again.
Sean Jefferson, the receivers coach.
Oh, he's a great coach. We kind of built a relationship over the draft process, and they brought me in at 30 and cut. So we built a little relationship over those little moments. So he's one of those people that he ain't gonna he ain't gonna BS you. He gonna tell you straight up, like, if I did something wrong, he gonna coach me hard, just like Coach Glenn, and he gonna make sure I'm pushing myself to be the best version of myself I can be.
What are the biggest things you want to work on this spring and in training camp?
Honestly, everything. Receivers as a whole, breaking down the routes, catching the ball down the field, winning at the line, and being more physical in the run game. I want to become a better blocker, so they can trust me on all phases of the game. So,
a lot of times people talk about your speed and your down-the-field ability. How much do you want? You talked about it as like an all-around receiver. You kind of alluded to it there, but how much is that a goal of yours?
it's a major goal. It was a goal for me at Georgia once I stopped running track. So. That I strive to be that. I strive to be an all-around receiver. Like speed, yes, my strength, but I can be so much better than just speed. So, and that's what I want to be, much better than speed. So.
Why did you give up track?
I gave up track just because of the workload, and to be good at something, you got to put time into it. So it ain't gonna just happen overnight for me to be one more whole receiver. I got to put all of my time, all of my everything into it. So I felt like I was shorting myself in that area, and I knew at the end of the day that I wanted to play football on the next level and hopefully win a Super Bowl one day and help teams win and make big plays. So I love track. I did a lot in track and accomplished a lot, but I know I can accomplish more in football.
Do you think maybe some of those early injuries you had were due to playing two sports and the stress it was putting on your body?
Yes, I probably would say just the work. Yeah, definitely the workload. It was difficult for my body to catch up and recover when I'm, working out year round in two sports, and I didn't really have a time to, let my body relax. So definitely.
What aspects from the track, can you bring over to the football field as far as like that'll help you?
I'll probably say my mindset on things. In track, you have to have I feel like it's an individual sport, so you gotta have a strong mental side on things, and in my explosiveness too. Obviously the speed and everything else and all those talent accolades come with it, but my mental part of it, I feel like I'm a very tough person, and I'm one of those people that rub off on people. I love to work. Like today, I had probably one of the best days of my life today, first day of practice. But I probably say the mental part and just me. Yeah.
Is there a receiver in this league you're trying to emulate, trying to sort of match?
No, not really. I'm trying to be myself, honestly. But I watch other receivers and, watch things they do and tendencies they might take on a certain play or release or, I watch other receivers, but I don't really strive to be someone but myself.
Did you say it was your best day of practice on any level? Is that what you said?
No, not the best day of any level on practice. Just like the best day I've had practice in football. Just had, I had fun meeting new people, building connections, and hearing the quarterback tell me to, not do that, do something else. So just being where my feet are and enjoying the moment.
You look just from us watching it. We can obviously see the speed. What did it feel like out there against with some other guys? Were you feeling it at this, even though you're all kind of the same level, but how'd you feel out there at practice?
I felt good, man. The tempo's a little different than doing combine training and stuff like that. So obviously, I'm a catch up to speed as time goes, but just it felt good going out there and competing against good. I love good competition. I love people that can run with me because it makes me work harder and strive to be faster because I don't want to be the person that's running down the field and somebody just running with me. I want to be the person that always get open and and get separation. So
you ran a pro style offense in Georgia. How is the offense different than the one that you ran in college?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily different. Some of the things that you do and say are similar, but I feel like the terminology is different and just how they go about stuff is different than Georgia. And yeah.
How motivating is it when people talk about drops? They bring up the drops.
It was very motivating. I'm not the type of person that never runs for stuff I did. Whether I earned it and whether it's my fault, I'm not the type of person that makes excuses on anything. So definitely gives me motivation.
How do you work on that?
Just like you work on anything else, I would say put time into it and be intentional on it.
Is there a part of that? I mean, you said that on drafting your knowledge, there's something you want to improve on. Do you feel like it's technique? Do you feel like it's focus? What is it that led to the drop?
I'd probably say focus. Not necessarily technique, because there's no special technique of catching the ball. You just got to catch it. I feel like it's focus and, me worried about other things other than catching the ball.
He's likable. Hopefully it leads to him being a really good player. You're not concerned about the character. People rave about that. We know Gruden knows him personally, has said great things about him. So time will tell. Quick update The vendor I was going to buy that Corbett jersey from was advertising it as a 96 Jets jersey. Upon looking at it, I think it's the old ugly jerseys the Jets used to wear. So I don't want to buy that one. So instead, I purchased this to give away. Still a signed Corbett jersey, but it's the Parcells 2000 Jet jersey, Wayne Corbett, the one that you see him wearing here. So still giving away a Corbett jersey, but false advertising by the vendor I was looking at. That was not a 96 jersey. So quick PSA. You're still getting a Corbett jersey. If you win, it's just this one instead of the other one. But I like that from Arian Smith right there. That was good. Dylan says, I thought that looked like the Gay Sarah. Exactly. To me, this was the Gay Sarah jersey. I was like, that doesn't look like rookie year Corbett jersey at all. Upon further review, I'm glad I'm not the only one who like this looks like the Gay Sarah jersey that Corbett signed. So this is what we're giving away. I'm glad I noticed. Anyway, let's get to more of your calls, shall we? Ralphie's on the line. He's up next on our show. What's up, Ralphie?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, you got the Corbett jersey on already. Love it.
I don't know if this is the shitty year or not. I don't know.
That's literally what we're giving away. That's like the normal, Parcells era, Herm, Mangini, all that.
This is Modell, so I need an upgrade. That's why I'm in the raffle.
Love it.
I think I'm the only Asmaniac to graduate from Hofstra without actually going there, actually.
You graduated from Hofstra but didn't go to Hofstra. How does that work?
Because I started dating my wife sophomore year. She went to Hofstra. When it came time for graduation for her, I didn't want to sit with my future in-laws. So I borrowed somebody who graduated in the morning in the liberal arts school, put on the gear, went out there, filled out a card, handed it to President Stewart at the time, and he announced my name in front of everybody.
Are you serious?
No, I did it.
That is hilarious.
So yeah.
How did you get away with that? They don't verify the
Nope,
people?
not back then. Come on. It's 1989. They didn't do anything like that. You had an index card with your name, and that was it. And the girl who, and the sorority sister of my wife, who I borrowed her cap and gown, she graduated with honors. So the president also said, "Great job graduating like magna cum laude." But I didn't. I went to Iona and graduated from there. So
that is an all-time story, Ralphie. That's awesome.
All right. So I was hoping to get in there to get the raffle for the Corbett jersey, but then I saw Mimosa and Bo and Peter Castro went in there. So they have a ton of gear already. So I might have to, I don't know, maybe get a picture of Mimosa once she wins it. Maybe. What I want to talk about quick, the draft, it reminds me, I'm dating myself. When I was probably like in middle school, the Jets drafted two offensive linemen back-to-back years, Marvin Powell and Chris Ward, I think. One from USC, one from Ohio State, bookend linemen, and they had already drafted the running back, Freeman McNeil, and the team was, even with Richard Todd being not very good, unfortunately from Alabama, not a good Alabama quarterback, they went all the way to the championship game, and they should have beat Miami, if not for the rain, I think, in the muddy field, A.J. Dewey. I think I was in high school by the time they made it to that game. But they did have a very good offensive line, and for a number of years, they were very formidable. So even though I was hoping for Ted McMillan originally, or maybe Warren, hopefully that will be like a 40-year circle of life, and we'll put together a good offensive line, good running back, average quarterback, and maybe make it to the championship game again.
I hope that Membu's the real deal. I think Olu's going to be really good. I think he showed that last year, and he's only going to get better. To me, the key with Membu, I think, in year one, can you be an average tackle in year one? Because a lot of times rookies do struggle at that position, and then they figure it out. So I'd sign for him being average right now, and then I think his ceiling is infinitely higher than that.
And the same thing with Olu. I mean, he only had like 7 starts maybe, or 7 games total. So, it's almost like he's a rookie too, in a way. So It might take a year for both of them to gel. But, I mean, listen, I'm optimistic every year. So I was optimistic when they drafted Jeff Lageman. So what do I know?
God, a lot of Jet pain when you go back and watch the montage of some of the old Jets.
I was
picks they
at a
made.
few of those. I remember being at the Aaron Glenn one, actually. That was I've been to 2 drafts live, and the first one was 94, Aaron Glenn. I went for my friends. I was the best man, and that was the bachelor party, the day after bachelor party. So
the bachelor party was at
bachelor party was some men's establishments in the city, and that gentlemen's clubs, and then 3 or 4 of us stayed in the city hotel and woke up the next day, and we went to the Marriott Marquis. There was no cost to do it, and then we were there. I feel like the Giants might have drafted Rodney Hampton, maybe, but then the Jets definitely traded up for Aaron Glenn. The coolest thing about that draft, and now again I'm dating myself, but Denver took a guy in the first round that no one had ever heard of. It was hardly even in our books. There was a linebacker named John Mobley. I don't expect you to know him at all. I think he was a decent linebacker, and he was actually sitting about 5 seats from me, I think, and then walked up. One of the 2 drafts that I was at, that happened. John Mobley was called. He wasn't in the backstage or anything, and he was just with all the fans, and he walked up. I was at the 94 one, and the 96 with Keyshawn Johnson was drafted. That was at the theater at the Madison Square Garden. There was so much hype about the Jets having the number 1 pick that they had to move that to the Madison Square Garden theater rather than the Marriott Marquis. But yeah, so I've been through a lot of pain of Jet drafts, and in live and in person.
Yeah, you certainly have. I hope that it goes back to Radio City someday. I don't think they ever will because the draft has become too big of a event now. But hopefully it could come back to New York at some point. They could do it. They could do it at the Garden or something cool like that.
I mean, they're getting I don't know. They had 100,000 people in Nashville. I can't see them doing Radio City. All these other towns are just clamoring for it, and it's just another event in New York City. I don't think we'll see that again.
Yeah, it's probably not for a long while anyway. Maybe the 100-year anniversary of the draft they do it or something like that.
Maybe. All right, Jake. Have a great weekend.
Appreciate it, Ralphie. Great call as always. Hopefully you win the signed Corbett jersey. Go put a frame on it right in the man cave. All right. We will do this raffle at the end of the show for the one-off raffle signed Corbett jersey. For those of you just tuning in, if you gift, you're entered to win. Also, if you gift, you're entered to win the weekly raffle prize. That is a signed C-Mart jersey, signed AG jersey, and for all the Knicks fans, the signed Jalen Brunson jersey in honor of the Knicks playoff run right now. Let's say hello to Barbarossa, who joins the show next. What's up, Barbarossa?
Hey, cheers, ASMANIACS. What's going on, everybody?
Cheers. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. I actually wrote them down because I'll forget if I don't. First thing is I didn't watch the morning show live just because I was working. But I think I have to disagree with you, and I got kind of offended when you said we couldn't defeat the gorilla. You were very it wouldn't even you didn't even think about it. You're just nope, not even close.
It's a gorilla.
All right, so here's my opinion. This is the first time I've really disagreed with you. Human beings have been killing things like that for thousands of years. The way you'd kill a gorilla, if it was the 64 Asmaniacs in the tournament, we'd all have to basically build a human shield wall and scare the gorilla enough to run away, and that's how we'd kill it. Human beings are evolutionarily we're evolved to chase things over a long distance. No animal has the endurance. We'd have to chase it until it got exhausted and dropped, and then Purple Belt Mike could just elbow it in the head, and that's how we'd have to take it down. Not that I'd ever want to kill a gorilla, but that's the only way we'd be able to do it. But we could do it. Human beings killed woolly mammoths and mastodons, so that's just what I think.
I struggle to think that we would be able to be a cohesive enough unit to put together a plan that you're talking about and execute with our lives on the line against a gorilla.
I think if we believed enough achievement, we could do anything. So we might have to plan a little bit, but all you got to do is just yell at it so it fears you, and then just make it run away and just make it run until it gets tired and collapses, and then PBM just drops the bow on him.
I'll run it up the poll. Could 100 Asmaniacs kill one gorilla?
We could.
Yes or no? I'll run it up the poll. Obviously, the poll would never lie to us.
Yeah, I think we could. And to answer Dave Briggett's question, this is Shock Top. That's what this bad boy is. One of my faves.
It's a great beer, a beer that believes in achievement, I'm sure.
It does. Oh, most certainly. Most certainly. I mean, the second thing I want to say is the Arian Smith clip you played was really great. He seems like a really great kid. I appreciate that he put he talked about the drops, like he's just talking about focus, and I think that's what it is. And he didn't blame anybody else but himself. You know, and that's
he was accountable there. That was
Yeah.
definitely noticeable, 100%.
Yeah, and I think that's what Glenn wants. He wants players that are accountable. Like, no one's perfect. You're going to drop the ball. You're going to mess up, but you got to learn from that. And you got to just understand that your job is your job and you got to do better.
Well said. Barbarossa, excellent call. A Friday Barbarossa call I look forward to every week.
I got one more question for you, Jake, before I go.
Yes, sir.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about the D-line? We didn't address it in the draft. We've kind of piecemealed things together. I feel like that's really, even with our wide receiver room and just having G-Dub, I feel like that's just our biggest weakness. Quinnen Williams on the D-line isn't the same as Garrett Wilson catching the ball.
I agree with you. So I'm not worried about the edge players. I'm very concerned about this team's ability to consistently stop the run. That's my concern.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And by the way, I didn't mention this guy earlier with Robby when we were talking about maybe signing a DT. He's not a DT, but he's always been very good against the run. The Panthers yesterday released Jadeveon Clowney. I would sign him to a 1-year deal. He's better than Michael Clemens. Boom. Like you make your team better with that move right there.
Yeah, I saw that too. I would do that also. We could have done it last year, but yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks, Jake. Cheers, everybody. Enjoy Friday. Happy Friday.
Cheers, Barbarossa. And yeah, they could have done it last year. I wanted them to do it last year, and then they traded for Reddick. But I was pounding the table when they brought Clowney in for a visit to sign him. He's done 5.5 sacks last year. He's always been good against the run. I think he would help. Now, Clowney never lived up to being the first pick in the draft, but he had a very good and has had a very good career. So I would sign him. I don't think they're going to, though. He's over 30. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I need everyone to gather around and stop what they're doing and lay on their bed.
He's home, spell is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, spell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show, spell is on the bed. He's just more comfortable. He got a beard, he loves the jets, super chats. He loves a big fella, sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. But that's a big fella.
What's up, everybody?
Big fella, how we feeling?
Good, man. I had lunch with Nick Shine today. It was great.
Really?
Yeah. We went to this place called the Milburn Deli. It's awesome.
Where was Gorman? He couldn't join you guys?
Nah, he couldn't join us, but it was good, man. It was really good. Nick's a great guy, so it was really good to hang out with him for a little bit. You know,
that's awesome. I'm glad you guys take a picture. I didn't see any of this.
Yeah, it's on his Discord.
Okay, I gotta check.
So yeah, it's cool. Getting to this gorilla thing, a gorilla would whoop our ass, man.
That's what I said. People acted like it's crazy for me to believe that.
Bro, a gorilla is so freaking strong, bro. I don't care. Look, if we have 100 people going in, half aren't coming back. I mean, it's first of all, gorillas can bench press or like lift like 4,000 pounds, right? They have a bite force like that's more than a lion. They'll rip your arm off and beat you to death with it. So I don't see it, man. I don't see us beating a gorilla.
Look, I'm not beating a gorilla. I would love to sit here and think that the Asmaniacs could take down a gorilla, but I got to be realistic. I don't see the path.
Yeah, there's no path, bro. There's no path, and their skin is like freaking armor. So how the hell, Purple Belt Mike? I love him, but his elbows aren't going to do shit to the gorilla, bro. So.
Now, if you were assembling a team of people you'd want on the of the 100, are there any, like you mentioned, human sacrifice? Like, would we want maybe like some big bodies up front that the gorilla has to spend some time destroying, giving an avenue for other people to maybe make their move? Like, what would be the strategy if we're going to try this?
I don't see us beating it without weapons. You know,
Well, no weapon. What if we just like we human sacrifice hypothetically like Beastbreaker, for example?
no, we can't sacrifice Beatbreaker, bro.
but people are going to die. So
Yeah,
it's like,
I know exactly. Dude, let me tell you something. I'm not going to be the first one in. I'll tell you right now. That ain't happening.
Now, Beast makes a great suggestion. He goes, "How about sending Alan in?"
Well, it could be like Lord of the Flies, you know, where we get rid of the annoying people first, and then you know, that's just how that'll go.
Fuck you, Alan.
Well, Lowski looks different without his beard, man. He looks like a totally different person. It's kind of wild.
Clean shaven Lowski's. It is wild. You're right.
Yeah, clean shaven Lowski is something else. But getting to the Jets, I mean, we pretty much knew like how the rookie minicamp was going to go. You know, it was pretty much Glenn is a tough guy, and he's the opposite of Saleh, and that's it's a refreshing thing to see.
There's something to be said about seeing this guy just walking around as the Jet coach officially at a Jet practice, you know?
Yeah, hell yeah. Instead of like him like friggin' fanboying like Saleh was for the past few years over players, you could tell like he's the man and he's the coach, and
does he smile once in any of these clips? I don't think I've seen Aaron Glenn crack a smile yet.
I don't know. He's intense, man, and I'm happy for that. I really am.
Let's just hope he's a good coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved him as a player. So I kind of have rose colored glasses with him, but I think he's going to be good for us. I really do. So yeah, but the gorilla thing, we're dying, man. That's it.
Boomtown's disappointed in your lack of confidence.
Boomtown, you can go first then, bro. Yeah. Oh, PBM wants to come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now for his take on Gorilla Gate is PBM.
What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up? We would lose there'd be 1,000 of us, and we're gonna lose. And I'll tell you why. One, a small gorilla, has a 30-inch neck. Who the hell is gonna choke out a 30-inch neck? It's not happening. And as you said, their skin is. I can shoot a gorilla in the head with a 9mm, and it's not going to die from it.
Yep.
It's going to keep coming.
Yep.
So can a human being withstand a 9mm to the head? No. So
Dude,
there could be
it'll crush you. Like,
exactly. They can lift 3,000 pounds.
I could take a 9mm to the head. Just keep rolling. Just we'll worry about that. We'll worry about that tomorrow. Right now, I got to fight.
And they can lift 3,000 pounds.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is the first guy gets his limbs ripped off, and then everyone's going to be running away because you're not going to be able to fight a gorilla. It's not possible.
Exactly.
You will lose. If you try to fight a kangaroo and the kangaroo kicks you, the kangaroo is going to shatter every single bone in your body if it kicks you.
I want to fight a kangaroo. They say kangaroos can box. I kind of want to see how that goes.
Yeah, a kangaroo can box, and then it's going to bounce around and then kick you in the chest, and it kicks harder than a horse.
And they have claws, but they could disembowel you too.
It'll destroy.
No, it's got to wear gloves. We're gonna have a boxing match, me versus a kangaroo, and the kangaroo's got to weigh 154.
It's gonna kick you, and it's gonna destroy your entire rib cage and chest.
No, we're gonna box. Me and the kangaroo are gonna box.
Yeah. I'm sure
Beast is 5'8", 258. Would he be Would he be part of the 100 Asmaniacs on the team?
I mean, he would die. I don't want to sign up for that.
I don't know how far he's gonna run. But
he can move pretty well.
Yeah, he could do his Garrett Wilson dive into it.
And want nothing to do with fighting.
Beast, give us a Garrett Wilson dive into the gorilla.
Give me the fly. Oh, we can glide in the air.
The missile. So yeah,
I'll tell Boomtown this: we're gonna get the gorilla to fight our fight. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. But we're not gonna fight the gorilla's fight. We're gonna make the gorilla fight our fight.
I want to show everybody something. Wait, I got my dog a new collar. Look at this collar. New York Knicks. And then I got this bandana that I'm gonna put on for her tomorrow.
Yes. It's
That's
important
legit.
to note the Knicks have never lost a game since I started showing this photo of Big Fella and Brunson on the show.
Hell yeah.
How long ago did you get this picture? 2-0
my
or
guy.
3?
That's my guy.
When did you get the picture?
I got it in October.
Oh, well, since
Gary,
you started
what's
showing
your-
the picture. Yeah.
Is Bridges your favorite neck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Bridges. Bridges was a
Yeah.
good net. I like Bridges. I'm trying to. Is there anyone else? I mean, as a fan of basketball, I like watching Brunson more than Bridges. But
When are you coming back on my Discord, Gary? We miss you.
It's too toxic there, bro. I don't want to get into it. Discord's a good place. It's too toxic there, man. You guys enjoy. You guys have fun.
It's too toxic because I wrote thanks for Bridges after the game the other night.
No, it's just all right, it's cool. It's you guys. I don't want to badmouth you. It's a great place. You guys should
Okay.
hang out in the Discord.
Okay. We
so,
miss
so
you.
Gary, what's your take? 100 men versus a gorilla.
I think there's no chance 100 men win. Like there's just
I don't
the
think there's a
gorilla,
chance
like,
with 1,000.
What are you gonna do with a gorilla? It's like saying, could 100 newborns beat Mike Tyson? No, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's
Hold on. I have
Yeah.
another opinion from one of the greats. Barbarossa, your take?
We're not fighting the gorilla. We're chasing it until it drops dead from exhaustion.
but why
Human
is the
beings-
gorilla running
Dude.
from you though?
Because
The
you're
gorilla is
scaring it.
faster
Because you
than
have
you.
100 people to scare it. That's how it works. That's how human beings kill things that were
Animals are like
400
humans.
times their size.
You back a rat so far into a corner, eventually it jumps at you. Okay?
You're not backing
You
it into a
threaten
corner. You're
gorilla.
chasing it.
It's an
You're not
expression,
backing
right? It's
into
not
a
going to keep
corner.
running from you. It's going to attack you at a certain
Yes,
point.
it will.
At a certain point,
That's-
if the gorilla feels threatened, it's going to attack you, and then you're done.
Well, there's 100 of us, but no, dude. Animals are not like
Us
that. Dude,
collectively.
gorillas are even.
Yes,
dude,
if a
they're-
gorilla
a
feels
gorilla would
threatened,
be
a gorilla will
afraid.
attack you.
Yeah, but if it feels threatened and it doesn't think it can win, it'll run away. And that's exactly how human beings killed all of the animals on planet Earth to become the dominant species.
Well,
We
you're talking
chase
about
them
using
until they
weapons and using nets. Okay. If you
Well,
just say
human beings didn't
hand-to-hand
use
combat,
nets
there's
100,000
no
years
shot.
ago.
What was
There's
that?
no nets 100,000 years ago. I'm talking about like woolly. How do
They
you
didn't
kill?
have nets 100,000 years ago? No, they had nets 100,000 years ago.
No, to kill
Yeah,
a
because
like
they
a
caught
woolly
fish with
mammoth.
them.
No,
They caught fish with nets. I don't. They had netting 100,000 years ago.
there's no way you would use that to kill like a woolly mammoth. Either way, 100 people could absolutely do it by scaring it, and then the creature would just drop dead. That's the only way you could do it. But that's you're not fighting it. You're not going toe to toe with this thing. You have to use your brain, and you chase it until it drops dead. That's the only way you do
I
it.
don't think the gorilla is gonna run until it drops dead. I think it's gonna run until it doesn't feel like running anymore, and then it's gonna attack you. And then once it attacks you, you're done.
I don't know about that. Also, if it attacked, how many people could it kill before it got really tired? You know,
I mean, that's the good question. Like, are you willing to sacrifice all 100 people? Or
Yo,
I'm not.
at
I'm
a
not.
certain point, like the war is
it could
over
run
when you're done
25 miles
fighting.
an
If
hour.
you're done fighting, you've lost.
Mike, it's not about how fast it can run. It's about how long it can run. Animals, animals are not. Most animals are not like they can't run distances the way human beings can. And when you run on all fours, you use so much more energy
Have you
than if
seen
you
the
run
average
upright.
person? The average
Hey, look,
Asmaniac?
I know. Hey, look,
Can the average Asmaniac run 100 yards without
dude. Hey, look,
collapsing and
these are
dying?
the soldiers
I mean,
we
what are we
have,
talking
Mike.
about
These are
here?
the soldiers we have. You know, I can't.
No, I agree. You go to battle with the soldiers that you have. I agree. What we got.
If you're going to tell me
it is
we
entirely
have
possible for human
100
beings to
John
do this.
Bones Joneses, there's a slight chance that 75 of them die.
Well, it's not about fighting the thing.
And
You
th-
get
and
it
that's
tired
100
until it
John
can't do
Jones.
anything anymore. I submit
its
that.
grip, just its grip can crush 500 pounds.
It's not
So you
going to
mean to
grip
tell
me.
me when it's
That's
tired,
like-
it can't just grab you when you go up to it and it just crushes your.
We're not
freaking
going
head?
up to it until it is on the ground, unconscious, exhausted from running. That's
It's
the
not
only.
gonna. It's not gonna. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I think you're
It'll
misreading the
back
gorilla's
up.
fight
Yeah.
plan. I think
It'll back up
I
and then
think
it'll wait.
Maybe, but that's the only. You might be right. Like that's the only. If the
They're
gorilla
very
decides,
smart
no, I'll
animals.
just take
A
these
gorilla is a
individuals
smart
apart.
animal.
You're right, but
Gorilla's
I don't
smart.
think
It's
I
not
don't think a
dumb.
gorilla's not going to be able to do that. They're social creatures. Like they're afraid of other animals in large groups. You know, like primates have group fights all the time, and that sometimes when one group sees that another group is larger, the smaller group backs down. So
Where are we
that's
chasing it, by the way? Good question here from TC. Are we doing this at MetLife?
no, you can't chase it in an enclosed area. You have to chase it literally through its natural habitat, so it just runs in one direction. Because if you corner it, like Gary said, then it will lash out and smack me against the rock and kill me. But if it
I
just
mean, it
keeps
could
running,
also
if it has
climb a
the option
tree
to
and then
run,
jump
it will
down and
keep running.
crush us from above. If it's a natural habitat, it's going to climb a tree and then look at us bozos trying to do something. And it's going to jump down.
I
And
don't.
just
Can
take out 10
gorillas
of us
climb?
in one shot.
How much can gorillas climb trees? Are they can they do that?
Yes, gorillas can climb trees. Yes.
I'm gonna let the gorilla come to me. I'm not. The gorilla can come to me, right? Like I'm not.
No. The only way we're going to fight it is if we got M4s
So
and
there's
we
no
got
being without weapons.
5.56.
Yeah,
That's it.
And you said like not your standard 9 either. That's not going to do the trick.
No, you need. If it's a 9mm, you need a rifle that shoots 9mm. So it goes
Barbarossa,
fast enough
you're
to
dead,
pierce the
bro.
skin.
Nah, man,
That
we're
thing is
all
coming
living.
for
You just need some human intuition. You just need some human intuition. Human beings did this for a long time. The only way you can kill a creature that's way bigger than you is by scaring it into running away, getting tired, and then it drops dead. Obviously, 100,000
This isn't
years
an
ago, people
elephant.
had
This is a
spears,
gorilla.
but okay, well, woolly mammoths are. I would rather. I mean, I don't know what I'd rather fight, but I feel like it's pretty equal between an elephant and a gorilla. I mean, have you seen an elephant like pick up a rhinoceros and kill it? Shit's wild. So I feel like it's similar. I would bet on us. I'm just betting on the Asmaniacs because I believe in
Isn't the
achievements.
hippo the most
they killed.
powerful or strongest thing in every?
Hippo's
Isn't
one
that a
of them,
hippo?
yeah.
I said rhinoceros, but elephants are the biggest land animal.
Yeah, but
I think they're
they killed woolly mammoths with spears, man.
Yeah, I know. We don't have any spears, but
We don't have any weapons.
That's why you got to get really tired. That's why we need extra brain power. Like we don't have weapons. We need to use our brains even more.
A dumb gorilla is probably smarter than the average
Half
person.
the Asmaniacs.
I don't know. I think you're giving the animal kingdom a little too much credit, but maybe a couple of people, but I don't know. All right, T Money. T Money. I do like I do it.
democracy. You gotta have 100 people with their own ideas, and no one's gonna execute the game plan, right? You need a quarterback in there to call the signals, right? To call the play, and who's doing that? That's the problem with 100 people. Everyone's gonna be on their own separate thing.
And once you start seeing people getting dismembered, I mean, they're out.
Yeah,
you're good. It's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You see one person get caught up, you're trying to run away.
Yeah,
you want no part in that.
Yeah, running from the gorilla is probably running from the gorilla is not going to work.
It could sprint 25 miles an hour.
The gorilla's kicking our ass regardless.
Yeah. Can a gorilla
I can't
really
believe this has been this
25
long
miles
of
an
a
hour?
debate. I'm stunned.
Yeah,
This is
it can
still
do-
happening.
it could-
Just
it can do
because
20
to me, it's a no-brainer. The gorilla is killing you. Like all
The
of
gorilla's
them.
killing you. Yeah. I don't give a shit who you are.
Exactly, 100%.
It'll literally rip your limbs off and beat you to death with it.
That's what I said. Yeah, it's the truth.
But we're not getting grabbed by it. We're scaring it. That's the whole plan. The whole plan works on making it run away.
I
If the
don't
thing
think
doesn't run
you're
away,
gonna scare. I don't think you're gonna scare.
A gorilla's
Yes,
going to
you-
scare you.
one human being can
If there's
scare
100
a
of
mountain
us
lion away by
running,
yelling.
Yeah,
I don't
I have
think
an idea.
100 people can scare a gorilla
I
by
may
yelling.
get my limbs ripped off, but I'll get my shots in.
There's one
I'll
man
get
that
some
can
shots in.
scare the gorilla. We just have to make sure he
Beast
shoots.
breaker.
The hell are we talking about? This is like a four-way combination of Jesus. Let's see, Mike Tyson, George Foreman, Ali, and Frazier, and then
And you can take every heavyweight champion that's ever lived in their prime, put them in a room against the gorilla, and they're all getting killed. All of them.
Yeah, because
It's
they're going to
never
fight it like
matter.
idiots. Because they're going to fight it. And when Beastbreaker tells you you're talking crazy, I think that's a sign. I don't know. I don't know, but
Now,
Well,
now here's
I'm not into the kind of a department like this. This is a little too far up my own alley. I'm not in this department here. That's not my life.
it's too far up your own alley. Then you'd be perfect.
Yeah,
You'd be perfect for it.
At least try and respect the animals. You know, when
Oh,
you
I
go
know.
to a zoo, you at least try and respect them. At least, but show them some respect because if you don't, they're gonna kick your ass.
I know we'd never actually hurt the gorilla, but in theory we could because we believe in achievement, and if you can root for the Jets for 20-something years and not kill yourself, you can kill it. You can beat a gorilla.
How much does your average full-grown
that's a fair
gorilla
point.
weigh? 400 pounds?
I think it's 600.
Yeah,
No, 500 to
between 4 and
600, I
5.
think, is like the normal size of a gorilla.
There's weight classes for a reason. I'll just leave it at that.
Gary, I wrestled. I know that.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about the gorilla. All right, everybody see the movie Cocaine Bear?
Yeah.
No.
Imagine if that shit was on cocaine, bro.
Well, I'm not giving the gorilla cocaine. Like, we're not doing that. Like,
imagine that shit.
No, I don't want.
Dude, did you guys see the raccoon that was smoking meth? Did you guys see that?
What?
Did anybody ever watch a movie called Project X?
Hold on, Beast. So last week, police in Ohio pulled over a car that was driving messed up, and the girl was on meth, and she had a raccoon that was smoking meth next to it in the car.
Oh, I saw
Yeah,
that.
they have thumbs,
Dude, it's
so you can
unreal.
smoke.
You have to watch the video, and then when the cops took away the meth pipe from the raccoon grabbed another one and started smoking it. This shit is crazy, dude.
What the hell?
That's
Are
awesome.
you serious?
And it's all on police body cam. It's
What the
crazy.
hell? Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Beast, I think you need to
Give
adopt
little
him.
Joey some meth, bro.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what I thought. I seen it all, right? Wow. I thought.
Well, you
I
haven't seen it yet.
This one takes the cake for me. I'm not gonna go into this department of about meth and cocaine. Whoa, boy! Wow, wow! This sure brings me back to the movie Scarface. I mean, I've watched Scarface
I wonder-
1,000
I
times.
wonder-
This is
Maybe if
freaking
he had a raccoon
Beast,
doing
were you
meth,
on
he would have
patrol
lived.
with the meth with the raccoon meth? Were you on patrol?
Beast, here's a question for you. Here's a question for you. Could 10 men? No, actually, can 10 little Joeys on cocaine kill one Asmaniac?
Whoa, okay, slow down. I think back up the train a minute. Back it up a bit. Back it up a bit. Time out. We got a problem here. Get this little bastard out of here. The little boy by the name of Bobby Beasley. Get out of here. Get out of here now. Or come here. Come here, you little bastard. I got something for you. You see this? This is something what Christopher used when he got on the line with one of the guys. Go, you want your fingers chopped? Come here, you little prick.
Who we stabbing, Beast?
You know who?
I don't.
I'm not gonna answer it. Let's get back to gorillas, please.
That rat fuck Bobby Beasley.
Yeah, fraud. And PBM, you were right about him. He is a red flag and he is a bullshit artist. You said it best. And big fella, you're right about one thing. That guy is a lion sack, a dog turd from a mile away. I like to see him try.
This is why we can't sacrifice him, Jay.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
All right, this has been a wild segment, but it's officially over. All right. I'm putting together the raffle names right now. Last chance if you want in. At the end of this show, we're giving away a signed Wayne Corbett jersey. A little Football Friday. We gave away 5 items earlier. Oh, man. The best part was Beast. Has anyone seen Project X? That was great. That was great. All right. I'm getting the list of names. I'm going to put that together. I'm going to play you 2 minutes of Armand Membou's press conference. When I come back from Membou's presser, we give out the Wayne Corbett jersey to one lucky listener.
Sorry, questions? What was it like to go out there for your first time as an NFL player in an NFL practice?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's good to get my feet back wet, especially, I haven't practiced since November, so it's been a while.
What's the biggest challenge right now for you?
I'll just say just changing my footwork and techniques and learning the playbook to what the Jets do.
How much of the playbook Are they giving you bits and pieces to start with, or are they kind of like, what's the load right now that you're learning?
Bits and pieces every day, but it's been pretty smooth though.
What was yesterday like for you signing your first contract?
It was pretty cool, especially once like I looked at all them zeros on the page. That's when I didn't realize how much money I was getting, but now it's definitely a blessing for sure.
What's been your impression of Aaron Glenn? And you know, obviously you have a bunch of meetings with him prior to getting here, but how do you see him as a coach and a leader here? Yeah, I respect him a lot, and I like the culture that he's building here for sure. Can you expand on what the things you like about him, discipline, you know, player coach, and any kind of thing? I mean, it's early stages here, but the coach Glenn, he's not going to demean you, but he's going to demand the best out of you. So I like that. how much have you spoken to your other linemen here, that you know, the veterans and Justin this week? Have you seen or talked to them at all? And you just got here yesterday?
I just met Olu today, so we talked a little bit. So it was good to get to know him.
Asman, with all those zeros, do you have any plans to, how are you going to spend it?
I don't have no big plans right now. Probably really just taking care of my family.
What's your early impression of your O-line coach?
I like him a lot, yeah. You know, doing install yesterday, it was good to learn the playbook.
How much do you think Olu can help you, because he just went through this a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was a rookie a year ago, so he definitely be able to help me a lot.
What are your feelings about having your quarterback cook here?
It means the world to me. It's dope seeing Brady here, and it's just cool seeing, you know, because I've been with him my freshman year at Mizzou, so it's awesome.
When you met Olu, what did you guys speak about?
Really, I just asked him about how it was like for him last year, and then he was just telling me what it was like for him, and then just, you know, the life of a rookie.
What kind of quarterback is Brady cook? Like, what are the Jets getting?
Just a leader and just a very, very tough dude. I mean, if you've seen that Auburn game last year, you know, he went to the hospital mid-game and he came back and won it for us. So that just shows you the type of character and leader that he is.
What was your reaction when you found out they were bringing him in?
I was just happy. You know, he texted me. I was super happy.
Did you have any idea that was maybe in the works at all, or was that a surprise for you?
Yeah, he told me that it was a chance that he could come here, I think, like a week before the draft. So I was definitely happy when he came.
I'm sure these last couple of weeks have been a whirlwind. Just has there been a moment where you kind of sat back and appreciated that you're here, and what does that feel like to, you know?
No, for sure. It means the world that I'm here about the same time. You know, it's my job now, so it's time to get to work.
How much different is this offense from what you did in college? Honestly,
it's, you know, a little more detail. I mean, obviously NFL more detail and everything, but it's not too different because, you know, wide zone and stuff. So it's been good it hasn't been too complicated to learn.
I know these are light practices, but like, how good does it feel to get back out there and like hit people again?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, I haven't practiced since November, so it's been awesome to, you know, finally get my feet back wet again.
Good stuff there from the latest first-round pick in the history of the Jets, Armand Membu. Some super chats. I showed them during the segment with the gorilla debate, but want to acknowledge each person who spent money supporting the show. Bino, did Bobby approve this multi-caller panel? Everyone knows he trademarked this setup, just saying. Bo, 100 people, 100 different angles. Some of us will die, but as maniacs, will never quit. Just let me know how you all do. Bino, honestly, a grizzly is the king apex predator that would rip a gorilla apart in about 1 minute flat. Bino says, one word, Briga. The gorilla is done. Could one punch Dave Briga land a punch on a gorilla? That's our next poll. On that note, as promised, we're giving away right now on the show a signed Wayne Corbett jersey, little Football Friday raffle. Thank you to everyone who gifted a membership. That means if we're doing a raffle, we have to spin the wheel. So it's time.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
That's right. Music, please. Here we go. All the names. There are 111 entries in this raffle. We're going to shuffle the wheel right now. We're going to shuffle it again. And we're going to shuffle it one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, now's the time to find out who's walking away with a winner. The wheel is being spun right now. And the winner is listener, Bo C. Congratulations to Bo C. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Congrats, Bo. That's awesome, man. True Jet fan getting this one. That's great. All right. Thanks to everyone who gifted for the one-off raffle, but as promised, it counts in our weekly raffle. We got a Brunson jersey as our top prize, an Aaron Glenn jersey, and a Curtis Martin jersey as our big three for this week. So certainly looking forward to finding out who's going to win that. Congrats to Bo. Again, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Calls today were tremendous. Thank you to Robby, who joined us for the first hour of the show. He was at Jets minicamp for the rookies today. So if you want analysis from someone who was there, Robby was great. Before we leave, I will end the poll, and it's at 50-50. Do we need overtime? Let's find out the official results of the poll. Can 100 Asmaniacs defeat one gorilla? And you got to be shitting me. 154 votes. And it's 154. It's 50-50. I'm dying here. It's literally 50. How do I do overtime for this? 3-minute overtime. Look, we got to do March Madness rules. Look at this. I swear to God, this ended being... It shouldn't be 50-50. We would get wrecked by the gorilla. Wrecked. We have no chance. You people are insane. I'm running it up the pole. I'm doing overtime. This is peak off season. We're going to overtime. Here we go. I'm running it again. Can 100 Asmaniacs defeat one gorilla? Yes. No. Ladies and gentlemen, overtime will be 3 minutes. Asmaniac Madness rules apply for all polls. I'm setting the timer. That when the timer on my phone goes off, after 3 minutes, overtime is over. We clear? Ladies and gentlemen, the poll is officially live. Start the clock. Overtime is underway. Vote, vote, vote. It took the gorilla challenge to get a second overtime in the history of polling. All we need is a lighter. Gorillas are furry. You can't use anything in the fight. It's just bare hands. Beast, who are you voting for? Yes or no?
I'm saying no because gorillas are friendly. If you piss them off, they're gonna come kick your ass. Oh, and this Joshua person is really getting under my skin really hard. Can I send him to the hole, please?
He wrote in the gorilla would choke trying to.
Yeah. You know what? You just said bye-bye. Hit the hole, asshole. Bye-bye.
Hey, B, send him to the hole.
Now look what you've done, Joshua Roar. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. I had to pull you out of the chat, for what, because you were being very disloyal to the service. And now you're gonna have to sit down here and think about what you just did to the world. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Sorry about that mess, Mr. Jake. Gorillas, take good care. Please, I like animals, but don't piss them off. But if you piss them off, gorillas are gonna kick your ass. It's straight English. It's straight simple. We don't need this. I like animals, but but if you piss a gorilla off, you're gonna come kick your ass. Straight simple. I've seen this. We cannot be doing this to our animals. I'm sorry. No is no. Let's just try and leave it the way it is. Just be friendly with the gorilla. That's all. No questions. I'm done here.
Beast, well said. Another salient point made by you.
Next question.
Poll will close in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Poll is closed. And the winner in overtime is... Yes, 51-48 with 78 votes. The chat sides with Barbarossa. They believe in achievement that 100 Asmaniacs would defeat one gorilla. I vehemently disagree with the results of this poll, but I respect the results of this election. Connor Long, am I going to the Subway Series next Saturday? I hope to be. I will not be there Friday if there's a Game 6 at the Garden, though. I will be at the Garden for Game 6. If hopefully there doesn't need to be. Anyway, what a show. How about that? Peak Jets offseason content right there. Good Lord. Again, thank you all for watching. Thanks to everyone who gifted a membership. You're in our weekly raffle. Bo C, I will order the Corbett jersey and get it sent out to you right after the show wraps. If you want to join us at Yankee Stadium, we have a few tickets left. In fact, we have even less than I was about to say, because Jeff Grossman just bought 2 tickets for him and his son. So looking forward to you being out there. That's Jay Grow, who's called the show a couple times. So click the link in the description if you want to join us on June 29th to our first ever Asmaniacs at the Ballpark event. On that note, let's go Knicks. If you're going to Game 3, I will be there. So if you see me, say hello. Hopefully the Knicks get it done. I can't believe we're even talking about being up 2-0, but man, that's the reality. On that note, again, thank you all for watching. I end the show with a message. And the message is coming from none other than the man in the lair.
Judge Johnny, Mike D's nuts and that Rick clown. You little dirtbags. You bunch of asshole chicken shit. You want to play fire with fire? You stepping on my world. I'm the pimp and you're my hose. You pissed me off, now you're paying for it. You ain't got the dick to go distance with me. You're nothing but weak. Little girls with your little credit cards think you're so funny you can send me to the hole. Well, your days are numbered and Armageddon is coming for all 3 of you. You don't know when it's coming and you don't know where it's gonna come from. Get ready.
I'm gonna get gonorrhea and kiss on the cheek. Yeah. Oh, I got gonorrhea. Oh my God, I got gonorrhea. Kiss my cheeks. Gonorrhea. You have to have sex to have gonorrhea.